talk about your experience with USA basketball and how that what from that you bring back to school this year?
Yeah, pretty much with USA basketball, I was just taking it as an opportunity to learn as much as I can, be a sponge. It was awesome to be able to play with those players and play under those coaches. So I'm kind of just bringing back the knowledge I learned playing against some pros in that league and like how physical and the pace that they play with. So hoping to bring that back to conference play and non-conference play.
And here you're obviously used to being a starter, playing a lot of minutes. You may not have gotten that many times because it's a high demand situation, and there are other people who are sort of USA basketball veterans, even at 21 years old. There's one girl who's been playing since she's like 15, and that includes Brianna Stewart, who played since she's like 14. So what did that teach you about sometimes how to be a role player, maybe how to communicate that to new players on this team?
Right, I had to learn how to be, the best teammate I could be. I'm not contributing on the court necessarily, but I could maybe yell out an action I know, or just give my teammates at the time a pep talk that they needed. So just finding other ways to contribute was my biggest my lesson learned over the summer as well.
And then whoever wants to go next. There's a lot of new faces in the room, so if you can say who you are and what your affiliation is. But
Sure. Pernay with WKCR. Thanks for taking the time and taking some of our questions. I'm curious, when it comes to leadership and making decisions under pressure, that's a lot of what y'all practice down there. Can you talk about how, Abbey, in your case, your experience this summer, and Kitty, what you've been doing in the off-season just to get better at making decisions under pressure?
Yeah, for me personally, we were playing against a lot of older girls this summer with Team USA. So, decisions like Coach G always says make half a second or split decision seconds. It's like even quicker over there. So kind of just taking that like pace and that, like I said, that physicality and kind of, bringing it over here and teaching my teammates got to play quick and we got to play physical.
Yeah, I mean, I would just add on to that, like over the summer, just trying to get with as many bodies as you could so that we could make it like as most game-like as we could, because obviously game-like situations are very different from like in practice. But if we can really model that, I think that's what really helps those decisions and kind of get really like a lot better at those decisions. So.
Do either of you have any alternatives to basketball in the off season that you turn to help refine your game, bring a new edge?
You mean off the court or?
Yeah, off the court.
Well, we both did internships, if that's what you mean. Or wait.
That's not brains.
Yeah, I mean, the summer's really our time to, get stronger.
Yeah.
I mean, we lift all season long, but like that's our time to like, okay, we're putting on muscle and really moving some weight. And honestly, for me, like that's a confidence booster, getting as strong as I can during the summer, and then it really translates to the season the following year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, getting stronger, but also just getting fitter in general. I mean, I love to have like my physical fitness as strong as it can be, because that way my mental can just like fall back on that. So yeah, I would just say like getting fit in other ways, like running, doing circuits, whatever it is. But outside of basketball, yeah, just adding that edge.
That makes sense.
Ted, WKCR, thanks again for your time. Obviously, you graduated a large portion of the core last year, and you've got a lot of new players this year. As like veterans of the team, what have you guys done to integrate those new members into not only on the court but also like the team culture?
Yeah. We really pride ourselves on like sometimes some people may say it's bad, but like we spend all our time together. Like even when we don't have to, like we'll watch movies, I don't know, have like ice cream. I don't know. We just spend a lot of time together, and I mean, but those times are important. Like I need to know my teammates outside the court to know like how I could talk to them on the court and how they operate. So I think that's still something that we learned a lot, and also still learning because we're only a few months in the season as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the other thing is that once we do have that kind of off-court relationship, it makes it a lot easier to hold them at the same level that we would have held whoever our seniors were last year. Like, I think that's really important that we know each other so well off the court that on the court we feel we can say whatever to each other that we need to say in that moment. And that's definitely been something that we've been focusing on recently.
In the first half of the season, there's a lot of big games this year. Duke, Villanova. Do you have those like circled on the schedule, or are you just treating those as like any other day?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for every single game, but obviously those big name games have a lot of hype around them. And I'm excited because I know it's just going to bring a lot of our crowd out. I think but like I'm looking and attacking every single game the same.
Yeah, I mean, same thing, like just attacking everything the same way. I mean, I think those games are really good to get us prepared for whatever, like for March. I mean, we're playing for the long game, but also like seeing what's in front of us. So like Abbey said, like playing every game the same way, but they definitely do hold a big importance to us, and we're going to take that definitely that way.
George.
How long are
Hey,
you doing?
George.
Yeah, so like kind of touching upon these like challenging non-conference schedule, how do you think that these games are gonna, prepare you for the conference schedule, going up against in-conference rivals like Princeton and Penn? How are these games gonna prepare you for that?
Yeah, I mean, like I just said, like I think the stronger we make our preseason schedule or non-conference schedule, that'll just get us like used to these hard games, physicality, really good opponents, like whatever we can get. I think that the more practice we get and the more wins we get in those environments just give us that kind of edge for the conference season. And, obviously we are going for the Ivy title, and that really prepares us for that. So,
Yeah, exactly what she said. We're not trying to make it as easy as possible. We're trying to prepare ourselves as much as possible before conference play hits. So then we're prepared to play in March and April. So.
yep.
I'm gonna move to Jen. She's got her hand up. Go ahead, Jen.
You're on.
Couple questions for you. Starting out with so many seniors having graduated, how do you guys think about your roles as leaders? Has that changed at all? Like, what are kind of those discussions with you and Coach G about this group and how you guys lead them?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we have had a lot of these discussions because obviously it is a big change. But I think that just means that Abbey and I have had to step up, like especially as leaders, and having that strong voice on the court and off the court as well, and also challenging the new people to have that voice as well. We need everyone, and everyone's just as important as each other, and I think we've had a big emphasis on that. So just having that strong voice, I think from my point of view, especially as a point guard, just keeping that like calm on the court.
Right, and then taking what those seniors taught us. I mean, that's what your seniors and upperclassmen are supposed to do. So with like Lillian Kennedy as our captain last year, just taking what she taught us and then applying it but putting our own touch on it as well, and carrying it on.
And then, Kitty, you talked a little bit about at Ivy Media Day about having your sister as a teammate. Just curious if you can give us a little preview, like what's her game like? How similar or different is it to yours? And Abbey, feel free to chime in if you want to
I
give
will.
us any insight on that.
Yeah, I'm not going to give you too many hints here, but no, she's a really good player. I mean, we have a really good basketball system in Australia, so I think we do have some really strong players coming from there. And obviously, I wouldn't have told Coach G to recruit my sister if I didn't think she belonged here and that she was good. So you've got to wait and see, Jen, but she's a very, very good player, yeah.
Yeah, you got to wait and see, but man, that Henderson bloodline, they're tough. That's all I'm going to leave you with. There's some tough cookies, so it'll be exciting to watch them both on the floor.
All right, fine. I guess I can. One more for you both. Beyond the basketball IQ, which you guys mentioned a ton at Media Day, what do you think this team's strengths so far are on the court? I know that can kind of evolve over the course of the season, but what do you like most about what you're seeing on the court so far?
Yeah. I think what Columbia women's basketball identity has been, and what this team also brings, is like there's a lot of versatility between our players. So we have some players playing like 1 through 4, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's such a interchangeable offense, and we have so much freedom to play with it. So that's been really fun.
Yeah. I mean, it's exactly what Abbey said. Like, it's just been really fun because I think we can make a lot more reads and kind of just like play it as it goes, which is really fun. So yeah, you already touched on the IQ part, so that's what I would say. Yeah.
Sorry, just one more, and then I will shut up, I promise. But I forgot, I wanted to give Kitty a chance to talk. So Abbey, you've been asked a lot about your USA time. And just curious, Kitty, like, have you noticed a difference in Abbey so far this year? Like, what have you seen kind of that USA experience do for her?
Yeah, I mean, I think Abbey's always going to be super humble about the USA stuff, but she really did come back like a badass. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but I think she just like comes with a new kind of edge. And she's been a really, really good leader this year already, holding everyone accountable. being a lot tougher on people. And I think that comes from that high level of basketball and kind of bringing that level into our trainings and our practices. So yeah, I just think she's kind of got this like edge this year, and I'm really excited to watch her play. I'll be playing with her, but you know what I mean.
Watch too much.
No, I won't be watching. I'll be there.
All right, thanks, Jen. Go ahead, Brian.
Hi, Brian, Quality Spectator. Thanks for having us again. Two quick questions. First for Kitty. Can you just talk about, obviously having your sister on the team and also being named the captain of the team? Does that add a little twist to that mentorship, or do you know, how do you approach that, having, I guess, two responsibilities on
Yeah, so I mean, having my sister here is really cool. But I mean, at Columbia Women's Basketball, like we say, like we're part of a sisterhood. So like everyone's kind of my sister as well. So I don't think it adds too much in terms of like how I would treat her as a teammate. If anything, I'm probably harder on her than everyone else, but I try to keep that pretty even. And then in terms of being a captain, I mean, it's always an honor, but I think there's a lot of extra work and a lot of extra kind of responsibilities that come with it that I love, and that side of leadership, although it's like a label, it's kind of like you have to show it every single day, and I think that's something that I've been really challenged with, and kind of making sure that I'm bringing that every single day. Yeah.
Definitely. And for Abbey, obviously it's your senior season, you're going into your fourth year after great past couple seasons. Is there any sort of pressure for you or urgency if you're looking ahead to what's going on, or does this season feel any different from the rest?
No, I mean, I don't know, it's such a long season. I'm not focused for the end of it. I'm just, so excited to get started, and, I just want to enjoy every single day. And then, yeah, I mean, we'll see where that takes me. I'm not too focused on that. Right now, I'm just focused at this moment, Stony Brook on Monday, but yeah, taking every day and just enjoying this last year with these people. So, yeah.
Thanks, Brian. Lauren?
Hi, ladies.
Hey.
Kitty, going back to playing with your sister, I'm unaware of all of the levels of Australian basketball. So I'm curious, have you guys been teammates before, and how has that, I guess, gone?
Yeah, so we've been teammates only at our home club, because she's 2 years younger than me. So like every time I move on, and she also moves on into that age group. So we've never played together like at a state team or like national level, but we've played all through our junior careers in our home club, and like I think that gives us a bit of an edge as well in a way. So that's super exciting.
Aside from the obvious, that half this team is new, how is this team different than the other Columbia teams you've been a part of, on the court, off the court?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's just this kind of fresh energy of just really wanting to get after it, and just kind of making those adjustments a lot more like quickly. I would say that the freshmen are just so eager to learn and so eager to kind of be a part of this thing, and I think that freshness has just been really, really cool to be a part of so far.
Abby, whether it's through USA Basketball or your own homework, summer homework, so to speak, what are we going to notice different about you? In my time covering you, you have added aspects to your game, your confidence has increased, there's always been something. And as a competitor, you're never arrived.
Right.
So I'm curious, what are we going to notice different about your game on the court this season?
Yeah, well, for one thing, I'm going to defend more this year.
Yeah, good boy.
I'm going to become more of a two-way player, I'd say, and then I'm always every year trying to diversify my shot chart, but, I want to get to the free throw line and, defend. Those are my two main goals, but, let the game come to me, and, let's get going.
Kitty, how about you? What are we going to notice different in your game?
Yeah, I think that being more of a scoring threat the whole time. So I've been working on some things over the summer and whatever. But I think just looking at the basket a lot more to start with. I mean, I love getting my teammates open, but sometimes I think the person that's open is myself. So yeah, looking at myself more. And then off that, I can kind of play with my teammates more as well.
So would you characterize that as a mental skill?
Yeah, in a way. Yeah, I think there's a big part of it is like an awareness kind of thing. Because like often if you're not looking for yourself, and you're just looking for your teammates, it's not that obvious. But if you have that in your mind, I think it allows you to kind of see the game a lot better. So yeah, I would say it's a bit mental as well, for sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lauren. Barry?
Hey guys, Barry, so quick 7 Sports. Great to see ya. Abby, I know a lot, we've talked about obviously now the defense and everything. But we were talking last season about you growing more vocal as a leader and taking that command, and it continued to work, and grow all last season. Do you feel like you have reached where you need to be at that, vocal on-court leader with your experience with Team USA? Like, do you feel like you have arrived to where you would like to be at that level of leadership?
I don't think I have like an end destination in mind with that goal. I think I'm just trying to evolve with it every single day. It does help like having Kitty by my side, and she's taken tremendous strides as well in being more vocal. So I think us just trying to push each other in that category. I've definitely taken steps, but in being in the final destination, I'm just trying to grow every day in that aspect. Yeah.
And this one for both of you, obviously, the two returning starters from last year. Mm-hmm. You set all the records, you win the first Ivy title, you do all that, and now it's almost a rebuild with numbers quantity, but you guys are talking with the excitement. How do you temper expectations or excitement, or what is your mindset? And hey, we want to capitalize off what we did last year, but also we've got half a new roster.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone coming in has the same mindset. I mean, Coach G has this vision, and we're all very bought into it. So I wouldn't say it's a rebuild. I'd say it's more of like a reload kind of thing altogether. And the most important thing, I think, is that we're all on that same goal. We all want the same thing. So, yeah, I mean, I don't think it's changed too much from last year. Obviously, like, from the outside looking in, like, it's like, oh, new players. But, like, it really doesn't feel too different in terms of our goals and the way that we're approaching them.
Exactly. I think, the players that were brought in for a reason. It wasn't to help us 2 years down the road. It was to help us now. So I think we're just going to pick up where we left off and, accomplish goals that we haven't done yet.
Mm-hmm.
Now with those goals, obviously you won your first Ivy, first team out, but then, that tremendous run in the WNIT. Where do you have your sights set this season?
Yeah, I mean, we won the Ivy title, the Ivy 20 title, and we're getting the NCAAs. We're looking at Sweet 16 plus, definitely. But
25.
yeah, I think we fell a little short of our goals last year, actually. So we're definitely looking to one up that one. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah. So, last season there was a really big student crowd at a lot of the home games. This year, season tickets sold out in a record time. How does that, increased presence, like fan presence, really contribute to the team atmosphere and as you go into playing this tough non-conference schedule, also you set your sights beyond in the postseason?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's so special being here, being a Columbia Lion because of that. We have, we want it to be intimidating when you come and play in our court, and I think our community has done such a great job in building that presence, and our hard work is paying off and building them confidence and building that presence. And so it's just exciting to see, tickets are sold out, people are excited for games. People are talking to us on campus saying, hey, I can't wait for this game. So it just brings more excitedness to playing this season. And, we really are just one big family in this community.
Yeah. I mean, like Abbey said, when teams come into our gym, they're not versing just us. They're versing the whole of Columbia. And, when that gym is packed in, it's a big, atmosphere. And I absolutely love it. So definitely excited for that this year as well.
Any final questions before we move on? All right. Thanks, Abbey. Thanks, Kitty. I think Lois just got the